Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I want to recreate a Chanel backstage makeup look that I saw for their Haute Couture collection in Paris a few weeks ago. And I want to do so using a lot of new makeup. I have some new products from Chanel, from Dior, from Guerlain, and also I have some milk makeup I thought we could throw in the mix as well. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. A recreation, I think, is a big word for what we're going to do. This is the inspiration here. This is from Benjamin Puckey. He works for Clé de Peau, but he did this makeup look on, I believe she's an actress. I'm not sure. This is Lucy Boynton. I don't know her, but she looks beautiful. And I just see this dramatic, smoky, a little bit cat eye with a beautiful pink glossy lip. I'm just inspired. So it's more an inspiration. It won't be an exact recreation of this. And I thought we could base it off of the Chanel Éclat de Nuit palette here. This beautiful smoky eye that just came out a few weeks ago. I absolutely love this palette. It's beautiful. It's like a recreation or reimagination of a classic smoky eye. So I think that this could be wonderful to do something based off of this look. Everything that I'm wearing or mentioning today is in the description box down below. Please go have a look down there. I'm starting with this Refer 27 brush and I'm going into the lightest color here, and I'm just going to place this in the crease just to help everything blend out. Now I do have a little bit of redness around my eyebrows because this morning before filming I realized that I needed to pluck them because my eyebrows, left to their own devices, try to join together, so I had to do that. This first shade really doesn't do much of anything. It's really just a transition shade that I like to lay down before I go into anything else. Okay, so I think I'll try to focus this darker color on the outside here. I'm going to go into this color directly, and I'll use a little sponge tip applicator and just pack this color on here. I'll try to just pack it on the half of the eye here. I think it goes a little bit into the inner part of the eye, but not very much, and I really want to focus on the outside here. Switching to a BK Beauty 210, I'm just going to pick this up, and it's a very small brush, so I'm trying to be precise. This Haute Couture, it's like the high-end, you know, it's not the ready-to-wear collection, it's like the super high-end. This is the stuff you see on a red carpet. Like they'll take part of the skirt and adapt it into high fashion. So oftentimes when I see these looks, like sometimes they're very beautiful and very, you know, inspirational. They look like a dream come to life, but I don't know how I feel about this whole collection in particular. They were the designer Virginie Viard, I think her name is. Let me double check. Yeah, it's Virginie Viard. She was inspired by the button. You know, when it comes to Chanel, there's a few things in the brand that are very classic, and a lot of items have buttons on them, and so that's what the inspiration was. And I think the collection was called The Button or something like that. And it looks very feminine, but almost like girlish, like girly, the whole collection. It's, you know, lots of tights and almost ballerina inspiration with tights and like little white socks. There's some looks that I like more than others, but overall it is not a collection that I'm like, wow, that was breathtaking. But I have to remind myself that I am not, like, that is not for me. You know, I don't go into the boutique and drop a mortgage worth on clothing there, so it isn't for me. That's not surprising. I just keep going back and forth between adding a little bit on my brush and then gently adding a little bit more here. I'm going up a little bit into the crease here because I have hooded eyes, so you're not going to see much of the color on the top here. If my eyes are just rested, you're going to see a little bit more on the side here. It's a very dramatic look, but I think I'm going to try to make it a little bit more wearable. Now taking a Q-tip, I'm just going to blend this out. I think this may be as extreme as my wing goes here with the eyeshadow. taking a Q-tip, I'm very gently just blending this out. I'm not even adding pressure. I'm just sort of tapping it just to help it fade. And this may in fact be as extreme as my winged liner goes. Honestly, the worst slash hardest part of winged liner is trying to make them look even. I have hooded eyes and I have slightly differently shaped hooded eyes, so it's always a challenge, but it's okay. I wouldn't say that this is a look to bust out Monday morning rushing on the way to work. This is maybe more of an evening look if you have a little bit more time to yourself. Unless you're very good at winged eyeliner. Some people are amazing at that. I'm taking an Angie Hot and Flashy A504 and dipping into that first color there, knocking off a little bit on a tissue, and I'm just going to very softly blend this out. I have a little bit of fallout, so I'm just taking a little bit of eye cream on the opposite side of the Q-tip and I'm cleaning that up. Not very much. I mean, it's a very dark eyeshadow, so it's not that shocking that there's a little bit of fallout here. It doesn't look like there's much makeup on the bottom lashes. Some mascara for sure, but it almost looks like the mascara is more prominent than the eyeshadow. I will add a whisper of this eyeshadow on the bottom here, and this is a Refer 03 brush. It's like a little tiny pencil brush, just a little bit here because I have a hard time believing there's nothing at all. I can't tell exactly from this photo, but it looks as though there is some sort of lightness here, but it looks very, I was gonna say fair or pale, but it looks very light. Part of me is tempted to go into this to be very shimmery and sparkly, but I think that would be incorrect because it doesn't look like that. Perhaps what I'll do is I'll go into this color here, the more neutral one. Like there is some light there, but it's very subtle, so I'll do that. And I'm using an old MAC brush. Everything has been like sanded off here. I don't even remember what number it is. I'll try to find it, but it's this very classic Old Faithful brush here. And I'm just going to load up that lighter color and just tap it on here. Going back in with that little brush. Honestly, I think in the photo, whatever light color is in the inner corner may have been matte. It looks even more subtle. Oh well. Like I stated, to say that this is a complete recreation is a very loose term. Sometimes you just have to adapt it in a way that's more user-friendly for you. I'm using a finger as well just to help mix and marry both of these colors together. For the mascara, I have this sample here of Rare Beauty. This is the Perfect Strokes Universal Volumizing Mascara. So let me go ahead and try that out. I think I got this from Sephora with a purchase. You know, if you spend $1 million at Sephora, they'll give you a sample of a mascara. So let me just go ahead and try this out. I've tried blushes and highlighters from Rare Beauty. I really like them, but I haven't tried their mascara. Okay, so here's a side-by-side comparison of mascara and without. Okay, this is really good. I really like this. I'm impressed. My eye looks naked here. I would say this is called the Volumizing Mascara. I agree. I do think it's very volumizing. It does a good job. It's very dark. The texture seems fine. It's not too liquidy. It almost feels like it's a little bit on the drier side, the formula. But yeah, I think this is good. Moving on to the Les Beige Healthy Glow Primer here. I have the shade Frosty White, and this is hydrating. It's wonderful. Unfortunately, this one is limited edition. I don't understand why. I really like it. It's called Frosty White. It has a little bit of color to it, but I promise once you start blending it out, it fades away. This is the Chanel Touch Up Face Brush here. It has a little bit of pearlescence to it, but I just like it as an extra layer of hydration. Now for the foundation, I have two options we could use. One of them is Laura Mercier, and I believe it's going to be much more higher coverage. And then I also have a Westman Atelier, but it's more of a skin tint. So the Laura Mercier is the Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation. It's this one here. Again, it's a sample from Sephora. Or I have the Westman Atelier Vital Skincare Complexion Drops. I think I'm going to save Westman Atelier for a different day, just because this is kind of a bit more of a dramatic look, and I think something with a bit more coverage, like the Laura Mercier, would be better. It says here that this is a long wear foundation that blurs the line between makeup and skin. Love that. It's supposed to leave a healthier looking complexion. The skin loving formula provides a perfecting medium buildable coverage for weightless coverage. Okay, so I think that's a bit better for today. So I think I have 2N1 or 3N1. I think this is a bit more my shade range. There's 30 shades to choose from. I'll do maybe some swatches on the cheek just to compare. So this is the 2N1. And then the 3N1. I think 3 is too dark, so I'll take what I can get here from the packet of the 3, and I may do a little concoction here of both the 2N1 and the 3, because sometimes you have to do that with these sample packs. I sort of use these more as like a gauge. Sometimes I get the perfect shade match, but it's rare. It's more to see the finish, the texture. Is it really drying? How does it feel? The texture feels light. It's hard to tell exactly from the pack because I'm not pumping it from the bottle, but it feels like nothing. It feels lightweight. It feels pretty fluid. I think I would be somewhere between the 2N1 and the 3N1 exactly. It sort of blends lighter than I thought. This is more sheer than I thought it would be, but it is weightless. As I am shearing this out, it looks very sheer and it feels absolutely like nothing on the skin. I know I'm wearing foundation, but it's really light. I think there's a nice level of glow as well. I don't think that this is very matte. Well, a little bit on the forehead here. Almost more of like a velvet matte. This is a very interesting foundation. So it says it's a natural finish. I do see that. It's a little bit luminous in the center of the face, but it's very light. It also says it's medium buildable coverage. I would say it's almost more light to medium. I think this is maybe a little bit more suited for oilier skin types or combination. I have dry, dehydrated skin. I live in Montreal. I see like a little bit of like a soft powdery finish, which is fine, but if it's like super, super dry and you haven't exfoliated, I could imagine this might accentuate some dry patches, peach fuzz, that sort of thing. Interesting. It's interesting because it's a very natural finish, but I think it's more lightweight. I think it covers a little bit less. I mean, again, I do have this sample pack here. It's not the same thing as the bottle, but I think it's pretty. I don't think I'm going to buy a full size, but I was very curious to try it out because I did see it like trending and going off on different social media platforms, so I thought I may as well give it a try now that I have a sample. I'm going to use my Armani concealer. This is the shade 5.5. And I'm using my Prada Beauty concealer brush. I love this so much. It's just like the perfect size for inner corner here. It blends so nicely. Now for the blush, Milk Makeup sent me a couple of their lip and cheek sticks. I have 3 shades. There's one in particular that's been my favorite. So this one here, the color is called, it has a name, it's called Quickie. So these are the mini travel size. I love that. Quickie is pretty dark. It's like a nice berry color. The second one here is called Rally. This one here is a bit more pink. It's also very pretty. This could work for today. And then the last one here has been my favorite. It's a bit more nudie, neutral. This one is called Work. You can tell I've used it more. I think what I'll do is I'll mix these two. So I'll mix Work, this one here, with Rally. I think that'll give me the perfect concoction of pink, but not too pink, a little bit peachy, a little bit neutral. So what I do is I like to pick it up off the back of my hand here. You can do that. You can go in directly into the blush like that, whichever you prefer. These cream stick blushes are great if you want to enhance that healthy glow, if you want to kind of look like lit from within. You know, anything cream or liquid blush is going to look healthier. It's going to look very youthful. It just adds, I want to say moisture, but it's not even that. It's just the fact that it's a cream or a liquid looks not even wet. I don't know. It looks a little bit luminous, a little bit dewy, but in a very natural way. Like it doesn't look, like you don't see this and say, oh wow, she's wearing a cream blush. It's more just that it doesn't look as dry. And sometimes with a regular powder blush, it can give you a little bit of color, but not that same level of glow. And I'm taking that little pink blush just on top here, just to mix these two together. Taking a little bit of this blush, because it is a lip and cheek stain, I'm going to put some on my lips. I'm going to mix a little bit of both of these, but I also have something else in mind for the lips. Like this, I mean, it's kind of a look, but I want something a little bit more elevated. I have my Dior Lip Reviver in the shade 001. So this is the pink one, basically. It reacts to your skin's natural pH, like your lip pH. So it's just going to enhance that pinky glow. There we go. But I also did layer that blush combination, so it's all going to work together where it's going to be pink like my lips, but also match my cheeks a little bit. And then over top, I'm going to use my new Guerlain lip oil. I love this one so much. This is Honey Glow. And even though it looks kind of browny nude here, it ends up being a bit more pink. So it's going to give me that glossy pink look that she has in the photo here. See what I mean? This lip gloss is so glossy. It's a lip oil, but lip oil, it's so glossy. It's so pretty. It's pink. I love this one so much. And yeah, it's a little bit more pink than usual, but again, it's the concoction that I tapped on before. So I think that this is a pretty good recreation, reincarnation, adaptation. I think adaptation is the correct term to use here, but I have to add a fragrance. That's how we complete a look. You have to add a bit of perfume. So I'm inspired by the upcoming spring. It is not spring yet, but I'm going to use my Chanel Chance Eau Fraîche scented hand cream here. This hand cream kit here smells exactly like the perfumes. Listen, these are not like the richest hand creams on the planet. It's more if you want a hand cream set that smells identical to the perfumes. Eau Fraîche is green, fresh, it's effervescent, it's zesty, it gives me a will to live in the middle of winter. It reminds me of, I think of tennis when I think of Eau Fraîche. I don't know why. I think of tennis. I think of grass clippings. It doesn't smell like grass clippings, but it just makes me think of warmer days ahead. So that will be the scent for today's look. Let me know what you think of today's adaptation. Leave a comment down below. If you've made it this far into the video, leave a little black heart emoji as a connection, as inspiration, as a connection to the look here. I think that this is very wearable for, considering we're talking about like a Haute Couture, a Paris runway look. I think that this is much more wearable. Anyway, Thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure you're subscribed. I talk a lot about luxury beauty, a lot about French luxury brands. I do a lot of tutorials, get ready with me, reviews. I like to reuse a lot of my older collection, so you'll get lots of ideas on how to use up what you have without having to buy anything new. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.